Is a tough concept to grasp. Instead of accepting the truth, they'll just deny it and blame it on you. Take a look at Chris Hayes over at MSNBC. Last night, he had a little problem with the way primetime covers crime, saying he cannot overstate the degree to which gruesome surveillance footage of black people committing violent crimes has become the quasi-permanent wallpaper on Fox these days. But old Chrissy wasn't done. He started taking pictures of our crime coverage as if it helped support his point. Oh, look. Is that me? There I am. Thanks for watching, Chris. So anyway, Chris Hayes, who identifies as Rachel Maddow, thinks it's racist to cover crime now. If you mention someone swinging a tomahawk in a McDonald's or shooting up a subway car, you're a white supremacist. Chris thinks the criminals are the real victims. He doesn't care about the mom who just got her face bashed in on a New York City subway. But he's not alone. We've noticed a little pattern. Last night, we told you about New York City's queer abolitionist, whatever that means, Councilwoman Tiffany Caban. She says if a dangerous nut job is chasing you, the last thing you want to do is call the cops. Instead, you need to distract and divert attention. So, how do you do that? Well, it's actually pretty easy. Is a lunatic holding you up at gunpoint? Try spilling your soda. Or maybe you can save the soda and just say, hey, didn't I go to high school with you? But if you can really call for help, Caban says maybe think about what's best for the person swinging a tomahawk. Listen.
What do you do in situations like that where you're dealing with someone, whether they have mental health issues or not, who are in like a violent or dangerous sort of situation?
So the one thing that I want to start by pointing out is that the scenario that you're pointing out is like the 1%, of calls. It's actually very, very rare. So, for 99% of calls, you are going to be better off sending a mental health expert. Once police get involved and, the prosecution, the courts get involved, I'm a former public defender. It's a downward spiral.
Yes. Don't call the cops. Call a mental health expert for help. Maybe they can help with the green spandex bandits robbing you on your subway car this morning. But it's not just the violent criminals who are the victims here. The truth is, politicians are even bigger victims. In L.A., they may have the Doug Flutie of duty just slinging feces around at small business owners. But if you bring it up to L.A.'s homelessness czar, Nithya Raman, like the noodle, you're committing a hate crime. She accused Primetime of basically committing a hate crime against her for covering the story. Have you ever met a victim who went to Harvard and MIT? Ramen, like the noodle, must be a first. Don't mind that police officers are actually getting beat by vagrants there. So what's Ramen doing about all this? Well, first order of business for her is calling them by their appropriate name.
When people talk about people who are experiencing homelessness, in recent years, there's been a push to not refer to people who are experiencing homelessness as the homeless.
Right.
I often say people experiencing homelessness so that you put their humanity first. They're people who are experiencing a moment without a home.
I guess that's what Raman was focusing on when she was over in India fixing their homelessness crisis. Must be why that city now has over 40,000 homeless people. But hey, at least they call them people experiencing homelessness now. Paul Scrivano is the business owner who got smeared with feces in L.A. So you've been dealing with this person, this Ramen woman. What's the latest?
Oh, well, she came in and cleaned everything up, Jesse. Everything's good. We're all good.
Good.
Oh,
Glad
no.
to hear that.
Oh, no, that's not what happened. No, she said she was the victim. That's what's happened now. She's the victim of your attacks. Meanwhile, we, the business people and the residents of Los Angeles, are, the term is we are criminalizing homelessness. That's the new term right now. And I do nothing but criminalize criminals. And I think we should all start criminalizing people like Nithya Raman and the government who let this go on. So many laws, so many ordinances, so many citations are not being written for crimes that are being committed. All that can be called is a crime if you're not doing that. And it's the city government that is disallowing the police from writing these tickets and these citations and making these arrests.
We spoke about that last night. If you have a politician who's telling people don't call police, we need to defund the police and we need to empty the prisons, well, she's actually preying on the people she's supposed to represent. Do you communicate with this council member? Do you send her pictures of people? Do you send her evidence of what's happening in your neighborhood?
For a year and a half, I've been sending her and her staff pictures, videos, pleas, begging her. This one particular woman was living on the street, across the street from us. The same homeless person that I kicked off of my property 5 hours later lit this woman's encampment on fire, and she got away with her life. The building was a complete loss. So it just keeps getting worse. And I found out, I'm trying to get this confirmed, but I found out that this woman who might be 75 or 80 years old, living on the street in 120-degree temperatures, looks like she got the crap beat out of her about 2 weeks ago, laying bleeding on the sidewalk. And I'm hearing now she's in transitional housing. That's what it took. And if you look at my Instagram, if you look at the letters I'm sending, I begged Nithya Raman and her staff to get this woman off the street. I think the problem is we have to redefine some terms. I don't think they should be called homeless anymore. I think they should be called home resistant because they're given the choice. They're given the choice. And then this whole unhoused is one thing. But when you're talking about a criminal element, I think we need to redefine unhoused as unincarcerated, plain and simple.
Housing deniers, that's what we'll call them. Thank you very much. Tell the audience again what the name of your restaurant is so they can go frequent it if they need to.
That's the Blue Dog Beer Tavern in Sherman Oaks. Burgers and beer, good time.
All right. Everybody enjoy themselves over there. Thank you very much, and good luck. If it's not the